Hi, Ichimoku Power Traders. This is an exclusive video for our members on best practices, tips, and tricks to use with our EA, and we hope you find it helpful. So we're just going to kind of go through different settings that we've learned to use and enjoy and work out for us. So quick things. All right, so you've seen it before. In other videos, but there's a quick way to get to your EA settings, and that way is to just click on the smiley face and it'll bring up your settings right away. So that is something that has been really quick and helpful when you have a lot of EA pairs, is to just go ahead and click on that little thing right there. So that's pretty helpful. There is a a way to save your settings, your templates. So there's another tutorial that goes into more detail, but just remember that you can go ahead and you can add in your chart and save it and then just instantly apply it. So let's say we want to put on the Ichimoku indicator here. So that's what it looks like. Okay. So you can see here we put that on, but now we want to kind of have it look like this for all the other charts. So you can go here and hit Save Template, and we can just go ahead and call that Ichimoku. And now if I go to another chart, like so, I can just hit this and click on right here, this thing, and it's in this list, load, and then it will load the Ichimoku with the EA and everything. And so that's a quick way to get your charts going from chart to chart. So that's another little trick that we use there. One of the other things that is very helpful that we always tell traders to do is to do back testing. So there's a more detailed tutorial about this, but we're going to show you just kind of one really quick thing, some notes to do when you're trading Ichimoku. So remember that when you're looking at these charts, the Ichimoku is dependent on the candle's back, okay? So that's how it's getting its data. So if you're in a highly volatile period, let's go to a daily chart. I'm going to remove this grid so that we can kind of see things a little better. If it's really highly volatile, you want the Ichimoku cloud to be more smooth and thick like this, because you see that when a reversal happens like this, you kind of, the cloud is more a lot easier to read. And so what you want to do when you're dealing with a highly volatile market is you want to make sure that the candle's back. So if we go into the settings here and you're looking at the settings here, in a highly volatile market, you kind of want to play with these numbers right here. Okay, you want to increase these numbers so that it smooths the volatility out, so that your entries are more specific. Okay, so that's something you want to think about when you're trading. If it's not very volatile and you're looking for entries, you want to go to, like, let's say 1 hour or 30 minute. You can see here this 1 hour, there's a lot of support that's getting built. The cloud is kind of thin. So you want to start looking for entries maybe on a short reversal. So you want to go into the settings and maybe you want to shorten these up. They're already kind of short already, 5 and 6, 52. So these represent the amount of candles back. So maybe we want to, one way that you can do this is before you change the EA settings, you can come into the cloud settings and right click and go to the property settings here, go to the inputs here, change them here, and see what that looks like. Okay, so let's say we change that to 5 and 2. You can see now the support is a lot stronger by just going back and looking at the 5 candles back, because that's really where the price action is. And so that might be a little more reliable. You see what I just did there? But if I come in here and I put it back to the defaults, the default value, so if we reset 926.52, those are default, you notice now it's really way more pinched. The support is not as strong. So something to think about when you're messing with those those settings. Okay, so the other tip and trick here that we have is we want to do the strategy tester. Now this is really important because we want we want traders to be successful at their trades. And so how do you do that is you have to test your settings. So once your EA is installed and you've gone through all those videos, you'll find the EA right here. Okay. And so you want to select that, make sure that's in there. Now there's multiple, you see all these currency pairs, but here's the thing. Before you start doing this, you want to download the history. And a lot of traders forget that. If you don't know how to use the strategy tester, again, there's a highly detailed video on this in another section for our members. And you can find out kind of more about this. But I'm just going to kind of show you real quick. Let's say we want to do euro dollar. Okay. So we want to make sure you go up to tools and you're going to go to history center. All right. And you want to click on, or you want to find euro dollar in this list, because this is all of the history of the trades. So what you want to do is, let's see here. Where is euro dollar? It's probably in here. Okay, here's euro USD. You want to double click on that. You see, if it doesn't have the thing, this highlighted, it means the data is not there. So all you have to do is just double click on it and it will download the data for that. Okay. And that's important. It's much faster. You kind of want to download all this data. All right. So the more data you have, the more accurate your information, because this is going to be used in back testing. So you just double click and you can see now all the data is in here all the way back to 2002. If you go to daily, it goes all the way back about 3-4 years. So now you know that the data is there. You're good here, and then you can select your time periods here to test. Okay. So one of the really important things that we like to share with traders is you can, if you did every tick, it would take a very long time to trade, and the Ichimoku system is really about swing trading. So you can take positions on signal closes. So if you change this to open prices only, this will actually wait for the entry to close after to enter after a bar closes. So it's only looking at the open close for the entry versus every tick as the candle is forming. Now, the reason why that's important is because when you go to the expert advisor settings, again, all these are going to be reviewed in another video. You're going to look out for that. We're just talking about, I just want to show you some tricks here with the EA. You click on input, and you'll notice here there's a setting we have which is called signal bar. You want to have that to 1, because what that means is to take the trade after the candle closes. And that correlates within the open close price here. So that when you hit a test and you hit start, it'll kind of run through and it'll be much quicker, and you can kind of go through and see the results here. Now that, my fault, because I didn't really set the settings, so this is not the best example, but you'll notice that it will go through the trades very quickly. But if you were to go to, let's say, every tick, and you were to run that same time frame, you'll notice that if you watch your progress bar here, it's going to take a lot longer to finish that back testing. So if you're back testing a strategy and it goes way back, way far back, you might want to consider doing open candles. So that's something that's been really helpful for people who are swing trading, is to consider doing the open candle testing. And you can actually watch the results as they come in here, as this is building. Okay. So that's a tip and trick there. There's another one that we have, which is, let's say you have a lot of windows. So let's see here. We're just gonna add a new chart. Right click, add a new chart. So let's say you have a ton of charts. Okay. So let's add another one. Okay, so you've got a handful of charts here. You can go ahead and tile them by window so you can see them like that. And let's say you have another system that you want to run it on. Well, you can go up to here, file, and you can go profiles, and you can hit save as. And what this actually does is it saves everything that you see here, and then you can actually use that profile and then profile back here, and then you can see that profile in here. And that way, when you go to another system, you can go open data folder, and you'll see that there's a folder here. It's called profiles. Now, your profile will be right in here, and you just copy that and you paste it into another system, and all of your charts would be there. So if you're running 12, 15, 20 charts, that's one way to quickly just have your things set up right away. So that's pretty much a handful of tips and tricks that we wanted to share that might help you with your trading and just getting things done faster and just being way more efficient with your trading. So thanks for using our EA, and be sure to message us through email or the chat. If we're online, we'll text you back, and happy trading.